Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Strength and I am your instructor for Vector. Welcome to class, and this is just my video introduction for the class and the overview. Vector graphics, if you haven't taken raster, Vector are different. Raster, think of like pictures, images, like actual photography kind of thing. When it comes to Vector, think of logos, very flat, very two-dimensional. This class is actually really interesting and helpful. When you look at things like animation, a lot of that is done, it starts out as a vector and then they move it into animation platforms to animate them. And logos, for example, are also built out of vectors. Why would we use a vector program to build a logo? You would do this because Vector has this really cool ability that where it doesn't do high detail, it allows you to stretch and make it as big as you want and it'll look perfect, and make it as small as you want and it looks perfect. Raster has a whole lot of high detail, but it cannot enlarge without distortion or pixelization. So you really do have to watch out for those. And that's the major difference between the two. So one gives you high quality, but you can't really stretch it, make it bigger. The other one doesn't really have high quality detail, but it does allow you to go to the size of a building and it will look perfect, which is why we make logos in vector programs, so that if our client in the end actually wants to enlarge something and bring it down, that's all we really got to do to it, okay? So that said, the program that I teach this class with is Adobe Illustrator. This is an industry standard. 24 years in the industry and still counting. It's an industry standard, okay? So you're going to need an Adobe license, all right? I can't provide that to you, and currently the college does not. So what I really want y'all to do is to, if you can, especially because, you know, Labor Day weekend, go get the discount. There is a student discount, okay? I will post a link about it, but go ahead and get it. It gives you a year up front. You pay for the year up front, but it gives you that access, and you have 2 licenses. Hey, you got someone you know who's also taking these classes? Go ahead and split it. It's 50-50, and then one of you can use a license and one of you can use, you know, a separate license. There are actually 2 licenses in there. So for me, I use my license for myself, and then my tattoo guy actually has my license. So you guys can always do that as well, okay? You are going to be very busy, and I'm unapologetic about this, okay? You guys will be busy. You basically have an assignment due every week. All right, you have the week to get to it. There is a deadline. Your deadline is the due date. Do not miss your deadline. If you do not turn anything in at the due date by the deadline, then it does not count. It is a 0. I will not accept late work. All right, in the real world, if you missed your deadline, you might basically be fired. You might as well assume you're going to be fired. Okay, if you turn something in, let's just say that Jaden turns something in and he gets a 20 on it, which is a really, 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 really low score to get. But let's just say he gets a 20 on it, okay? All right, so Jaden gets a 20. Then 3 or 4 weeks later, he turns something in and it's a lot better. Now, I can't give him a 100 simply because he missed the deadline. In terms of, let me back that up. I can't give him a 100 because he did the update after he turned something in. So it's a fair trade. Now I can go to a max of 90, and so I'll change the grade accordingly, but he didn't miss the deadline per se. He turned something in, it wasn't good enough. It was garbage. It's trash. Let's be honest. At a 20, it's considered trash. But he was able to redeem himself later. This is how the classes are structured. All right, you will be doing sketches. Now, relax. I'm not asking you to be Leonardo or Michelangelo or any of the other Ninja Turtles. I just need you to do a sketch so that I can see kind of what's in your head and that you can see what's in your head on the paper. This is a normal process. I've literally been out with friends and then I get an idea and boom, I'm just sitting there sketching on a napkin with a pen. I don't care if you're using a crayon. I don't care if it's regular paper. I just need to be able to see your sketch idea, but I do want you to actually try and practice. The only way you get better at sketching and drawing is by practice, okay? So just keep practicing drawing something. Try drawing circles. Just draw a circle, draw a circle, draw a circle. They'll get better, okay? Go from trash to less trash, all right? So that said, to get to each module, you're going to have to take a quiz. Relax. One thing I got to make clear. I don't care about tests. I am a terrible test taker. I'm actually a certified teacher in the state of Georgia, and guess what? I ended up becoming a certified teacher by passing it by 2 points. But I'm still a really good teacher, so I like to think, right? But also my students would tell you the same thing, which they're all lying, and I love you guys for lying about that. But that doesn't matter. Okay, the test is just to see if you even know what you're talking about. So what we do is we do the test and structure them to be about vocabulary. You need to know what a stroke is. You need to know what weight is. You need to know what a direct selection tool and an indirect select or the indirect selection tool is. These kind of things, groupings. We need to know about panels. That's all. So quizzes, tests, these are the smallest amount of grade. Your projects are what are going to pass the class, okay? Which is the same thing for the final. The final is really just for y'all to go in and just do a final. The school makes us do it. They make us set it up to be a lockdown browser, blah, blah, blah. Listen, y'all, go in. You'll be fine on these. The quizzes, you have unlimited times to try it. Just do your best and try to memorize like what it's telling you and learn it. It's mostly just for the industry. But your projects are really where you're going to be getting your grades, okay? On that note, if you need any help, if you need assistance, if you have questions, if you need to come in, I don't care if you're one of my virtual students, come in. If you're one of my students who's in person, come in. You're already going to be on campus, right? You can book an appointment with me. If I'm in my office talking to someone, I may have a meeting at that moment. And so please understand that I can't just stop what I'm doing. But you can actually go online and book an appointment. It could be in person. It could be virtual where we set up a meeting where you can share screens and whatnot. I'm happy to do that. I have students who call me on average, once, twice, 3 times a week. Okay. So please reach out to me. I'm here for you if I can. If I'm not available for some weird reason, Coach Beasley can help you as well. We've been working real hard together to get this program going, and we've been doing a pretty dang good job, okay? If you are virtual and you do want to come in because you want to sit in one of the classes, if I do have an in-person class that's active, then you are welcome to join that class. Even if it's just a one-off to see what the difference is. If you are virtual, or I'm sorry, if you are in person and you want to not come in, that's fine. The classes are structured that way. But please understand that I'm still going to grade you the same. So if your stuff is trash, you're going to get a grade that reflects it. But I have had students that have shown up once or twice in the semester and they actually just took off running and really didn't have to come in. But they did know they could reach out to me, and they do pay attention to my art direction, my input, my notes, okay? All right, guys, it's going to be a great semester. I look forward to all the cool stuff you're going to design. It's going to be real fun. It's going to be tough, but we grow from challenges, and that's all these are, is just a series of challenges, okay? All right, guys, let me know if you need any help. Otherwise, I'll see you in the classroom.